Welcome to the Black Educated Tea Podcast. I'm your host, Makeda Marie, and today's topic is fear of flying. But before we get into the tea, let's get into this tea. So I am actually drinking an Oasis Vibe tea today. Really good tea, a little sweet. It has licorice, peppermint, a couple other components in it. So really good tea. Kind of hot. It's like how they drink it. It's still a little hot. So I've been slowly sipping on it. But I'm actually drinking Oasis Vibe tea by Oasis Vibe. Definitely suggest that you try that out. You can go to oasisvibeco.com and get that Oasis Vibe tea. Really good. And a lot of times I actually put a honey spoon, agave, just different sweeteners in my tea at times. But a lot of times I can do without the sweetener, just depending on the mood that I'm in. So let's go ahead and get into this topic at hand, fear of flying. This particular topic, I wanted to just kind of touch on how we have that fear of flying, the fear of flight. The fear of going to that next level. That's basically what I'm talking about when I say fear of flying. I do consulting, and I'll just use, well, a lot of these topics that I talk about, I always use myself as an example. So I'm a consultant. I do that on the side, of course, other things as well. And a lot of times I will meet with people, just to get their business aspirations and to know, what kind of business they want to start, nonprofit, LLC, whatever they want to do. And it amazes me the amount of people that I come into contact with, and they're afraid to tell the people around them what kind of business they have, what they do, what their ideals are. And for me, when I started listening to, the people say this, oh, I'm, starting a nonprofit, and I really don't want to share my ideas with anyone, or I really don't want to tell close family and friends what I'm doing, because I don't know if people are going to be accepting of it. I don't know if people are going to understand what I'm doing. And I'm like, pump your brakes. Let's back up. First things first, don't be afraid to tell people what you are doing. Do not be afraid to tell people what you're doing. Because I hear all kind of reasons why, you're afraid to tell people what you're doing. Oh, I don't want anyone to steal my ideas, or I don't want anyone to, look down upon my idea. I don't want people to judge my idea. First thing, if it is your idea, if it is your passion, if it's something that you want to do, who cares what anyone else thinks? You should not care, Easier said than done, but do not care about what others think about your business, about your ideals, about your purpose. Because what your purpose is for you. It's not for anyone else. And another thing is, when I hear people talk, and, it's like, oh, I don't want people to judge what I'm doing. And, I don't want people to, be inconsiderate of what I'm doing. And, and I'm like, if you have the type of people around you that if you wanted to share your ideals and they're going to put them down, or they're not going to be supportive of it, oh, that's a dumb idea. Nonprofit, what are you going to do with the nonprofit? I think that's an absolutely ridiculous idea. Maybe it's time to reevaluate the people that you have around you. Because it's one thing to have people around you that may not get what you're trying to do, but then it's another thing to have people around you that will absolutely criticize what you are doing. And I had those people. I had people that didn't necessarily get what I wanted to do. But there was not criticism behind it. It was like, oh, Makeda, I really don't get it. I really don't understand it. But hey, girl, that's your thing. Just do it, And then I had others that would criticize. That doesn't sound like a good idea. You sure that's something you really want to do? And then that's when the fear to jump out and fly and do your ideal, or, launch your business. That's where the fear comes into play, when you're so scared of what others are going to think about it. You're so scared of how other people are going to perceive it, or how they're going to receive it. And for me, I'll use myself as an example. I got to the point I just didn't care. Because there were so many things in addition to what I was already doing that I really wanted to do, but it was that fear. It was that fear. I would be scared to share my ideals, or I would be scared to post things on social media because I didn't know how others were going to look at it. That was my main thing. I was always thinking about what other people were going to think about my business ideas or whatever I had. Then it got to the point, I'm like, Because I still had other people that was like, I would share my ideals and stuff with. They'd be like, go for it. But I still had doubt. I still had fear. I was scared to jump off that porch. I was scared to go into flight. I was the one that was scared. So it took for me to have faith, as my shirt says. It took for me to have faith to really realize that it doesn't matter what other people are going to think or what they're going to say about what my business is or what my purpose is. I shared with people I wanted to be a motivational speaker. And I had some people that was like, oh, that's just atrocious. That's like the craziest thing. Makeda, you don't even talk much. You know, you're really quiet. You don't even talk much. Who are you going to motivate? You know, how are you going to be a motivational speaker? And for me, when people say things like that, it was hurtful. But then that was my motivation to be like, oh, okay. So they don't believe in my dream. They don't believe I can do it. So I need to prove them wrong and show them that I really can do it. So if you have those people around you, it may be time to distance yourself from them. Don't be afraid to fly. Fear of flight. We are so scared of things at times. And looking back on it, I'm like, what was I really scared of? I had no reason to not push myself, to not do exactly what I wanted to do. I had no reason to. But I was so concerned of what other people would think, how they would take it. I was so concerned about how it would make them feel that I wasn't considering myself and what I wanted to do and how it was going to make me feel. Do not be scared to share your ideals, your thoughts, whatever it is that you want to do. You know, because like I said, I hear people would say, I don't want anyone to steal my ideals. And then, you know, the answer I would give to them, because I had a lot of people that would say that. Well, you know, I'm kind of scared if I share my ideals, then, you know, someone may steal my ideal. And I'm like, nothing is new under the sun. Let's be honest here. Nothing is new under the sun. And I'm like, trust me, if you're doing something that is that unique, it's going to be unique to you. So someone else can be doing the exact same thing, but they cannot do it the way that you are doing it. And that's how I had to look at myself as well. I'm like, there's a lot of people out here that's doing consulting. There's a lot of people that's starting skincare products. And, you know, people are doing everything out here. But I could not let that, I couldn't be bothered by that. Because I'm like, whatever they're doing is unique to them. And whatever I'm doing is unique to me. So I do not let when anyone else is doing interfere. I don't have the fear. Now, one thing I didn't have, I never had the fear of thinking that someone was going to steal my ideals or, you know, thinking that someone wanted to copy my ideas. I never had that fear because I was like, they can't do it like I can. So that mindset I always had. And, you know, I didn't mind sharing with certain people, you know, what I was doing, you know, and in my dreams and, you know, what I really felt like my purpose was. I didn't mind sharing it with some people because I'm like, if they want to take the idea, that's totally fine. They cannot do it like me. Just like I maybe can't do it like them. So we all have that uniqueness about us that they can't do it the way that I can. So don't be afraid to share your ideas with people, like-minded people, people that really love and people that really support you. Be mindful of what you share to people because some people don't have your best interests at hand. You know, let's just be real here. So be mindful of who you share your ideas and stuff to, but don't be afraid to fly. Don't be afraid. Do whatever it is that you want to do. Put aside whatever anyone else thinks about it. It doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is how it makes you feel. If it's your purpose, if it's your calling, if it's something that with every fiber in you, this is something that you really want to do, then do it. People may not understand. Some of the wackiest, crazy ideals that are now some of the biggest inventions, people didn't understand it. Oh, that is the craziest thing I've ever heard. Do you think that's really going to work? But if you feel like it's going to work, it will work. Doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. It is your ideal. It is your purpose. It is your goal. It is your business. Whatever it is that you're aiming to do, do it. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid of what others are going to say. The only voice that matters is yours. So please believe that. Take that leap of faith. Do whatever it is that you desire. Not even considering what others may think about it. Because bottom line, it doesn't matter how they think about it, how it makes them feel. The only person that matters in that equation is you. So, do not be afraid to fly. Live out your dreams. Live out your purpose. Live out whatever it is that you want to do. Whatever it is that's going to make you happy. No matter if you think it's a simple or the grandest ideal, it does not matter. Do simply what makes you happy. And I would just love to hear your comments. I would love to hear some of the things that held you back as you were pursuing your dreams and, living out your purpose and wanting to figure out how to approach your business. What were some of the things that held you back? Because for me, I think the biggest thing that held me back was me. I think I was the biggest thing that held me back. So what was just some of the things that held you back? What was some of the things that just kind of stopped you or, made you reconsider or whatever the case may have been? I would love to hear your comments. And as always, like and subscribe. And this is the Black Educated Tea Podcast.